All right, good morning. This is the final week of the Patriot Football League's 31st season, the 2050 campaign. Game 1, week 15, we have the 4-8-1 El Paso Caballeros against the 4-9 Dayton Triangles. There's nothing on the line here for these two teams other than bragging rights. They can't earn a winning record here, and neither one of them can get into the playoff or the bowl game. So there's nothing on the line here for El Paso and Dayton. I'm using my flagship Football Time Special Edition, and I'm using the possession charts, which are the original game. So there have been things that have been added on to it, but this was the original concept. So we're going to use this today for all three games of the final week of the season. Good luck, El Paso, coached by Tom Hansen, last year's Coach of the Year. 43 defense, run heavy. Their quarterback Morris, they have a great running back in Rodriguez. I believe when I finish the season tally everything, he's going to be the league's leading rusher, I think for the second year in a row. Watson, O'Shea, and Erickson are their top receivers. They have Kinesi doing the kicking duties. On defense, they have Zorch, Valdez, Peters, and Williams are all solid. This team is a CB. They're going to raid out against Dayton's defense in F. Dayton comes in here coached by two-time Coach of the Year, Phil Barnhart. He's a champion. He has won a championship. He's runs a 43. Run heavy. We are in Triangle Park in Dayton. Their veteran Wallace and Robinson, their quarterback Wallace has had a rough year. Robinson, again, he's had an okay year. But I think it's time for many of these old vets to move on. They have a solid receiver in Hollis. Andrews and Davis are serviceable. They have a great place kicker in the young Smith in his second year. They have two really good return men, McDowell and Bravo. Bravo is one of their top defensive DBs. They have Gibson, Grantham, Bjork on the front four, all three former defensive linemen of the year. Louderbeck, Jacobs, and Dawes. Both Louderbeck and Jacobs have both earned awards in their careers. Doyle, Martins, Bravo, and Miles. Bravo being last year's league MVP. So Dayton really went out and put all their cats in a row for defense. Unfortunately, they're aging out on offense. So without further ado, Dayton gets the ball first. This tells us what the event is. This tells us what an event. This tells us what the possession is, what an event might be, and who might be involved. So I just simplify this to one roll system. 3 on F is going to be a touchdown. How about that? And it's going to be 6. 6 is going to be even. That's going to be a pass to 5. So Wallace is going to throw a pass to Hollis. TD pass to Wallace, and the extra point is accounted for on the charts. Dayton is up against El Paso here in Triangle Park. 5 is going to be a punt for El Paso. Dayton is going to get a punt. And the final drive of the first quarter by El Paso is going to be an event for his quarterback sacked. So he's going to fumble the ball away. Morris, sack, fumble lost, and it's going to be recovered by DL, and the linebacker recovers. So who gets the sack? 5 will be Bjork. And the linebacker that recovers this 4 is going to be Dawes, the strong side backer. There it is for the fumble recovery. There it is. Bjork gets the sack. And so we have a couple of... That's going to put Bjork at about 5 box score points this season. So not too bad. All right, so Wallace threw a touchdown pass for Dayton. El Paso shut out. Why? Punts and a turnover. All right, Dayton starts the second quarter. They would like to add to their lead here. Both of them using the F charts because of these defenses are fantastic. It's going to be a punt for Dayton. With the event chart, you really want to punt because there's a chance to give up big scores. And El Paso is going to punt. What you don't want to do is roll that event. And on the F chart, it's a high probability. Here we go. 3 is going to be a touchdown. Dayton's going to score again, and it's going to be another pass. So Wallace may be wrapping up his career in Dayton with a second TD pass to 6. That's going to be Hollis again. So Hollis, I had passed to Wallace. It should be Hollis. Whoops, Wallace passed to himself for a touchdown. No, Hollis to Hollis, PAT. And folks, Dayton may have just put this game away. and 2 is going to be a punt for them at the half. So we're going to see another 7 points for Dayton. It's 14-0 at halftime. El Paso gets the ball to start the second. El Paso is going to suffer an event. It's going to be another strip sack fumble. So Morris hammered on a sack. Morris, sack, fumble lost. Who gets that? 3, that's going to be Grantham. So they come tearing through a grin and hammer him from behind. And it's going to be Louderbeck who gets this. Fumble recovery. Grantham and Louderbeck have been kind of quiet this year. Not enough to be in the league leaders. All right, Dayton, after that, they don't get any other bonus. That just tells you, how the thing happened. 4 is going to be an event against Dayton. 3, it's going to be field goal attempt blocked. So Smith lines it up to kick the field goal. Field goal attempt blocked. Field goal attempt blocked by the opponent. They get the A column. So who blocked it? Actually, let's use this. Who blocked it? 8 blocked it. That's going to be Jackson coming off the corner. Blocked Jackson. And they're going to get to use the A column. So El Paso's best chance to score a touchdown here, 5, and they're going to do it on a pass. So they're going to see their guy Morris, who's had a rough day here, being sacked with a TD pass. 2, 7. Let's roll that. Sorry. 2, 3. It's going to be a TD pass. 2, 3. That's going to be Watson. PAT. Very nice. They've now closed the gap. Folks, they can come back and win this game. Dayton in the final drive of the third is going to have an event. 4 as their quarterback gets hammered. Wallace, the old vet, tries to scramble away from pressure. Gets hammered. He's going to be sack, fumble, lost. And who is going to get this sack, fumble, loss? 6, that's going to be Barron, the rookie. And who recovers it for the linebackers? It's going to be Shipley. 2 rookies, Barron and Shipley. And there it is, folks. That's going to wrap it up. So Morris sacks. Smith get a field goal block. Morris for El Paso scores a touchdown pass. And Wallace gets strip sacked. And folks, there it is. It's 14-7 going into the fourth quarter. Dayton fighting for their chance to at least get that bragging rights, or to avoid being the dead last team in the league. All right, El Paso goes to work after that. 2 is a punt. Dayton would love to add one more score and wrap this thing up. 5, they're going to have a punt. El Paso's last chance to tie the game, and El Paso is going to suffer an event, a pick 6. Morris having a rough day, intercepted by, this is going to count as Dayton's final drive, intercepted by 4. 4 is going to be Jacobs, their stud linebacker, Jacobs. And Jacobs with a pick 6 and a PAT to wrap it up. Game is over just like that. Jacobs will take their third turnover back to the house, 7-21. El Paso finishes 4-9-1. Dayton finishes 5-9. The only team that doesn't have a tie is Dayton. It's feast or famine with this brilliant defense. They get 1, 2, they get 3 takeaways, and one of them they take back to the house. That's what a great defense does. Dayton looks fantastic. They need to revamp their offense, and they have a championship defense. They do not have an offense that can support them. And that wraps up their seasons, folks. El Paso finishes 4-9-1, last in the East, in the West. Dayton finishes 5-9, last in the East. So that wraps that up. Next on the agenda is the game of the week. This is huge, folks, because this is going to dictate some instant stuff here. So the Mesa Machine are traveling to face the Indianapolis Capitals in the Hooters Dome. If Mesa wins this game, they clinch the West Division over Colorado, and they automatically get the bid into the 31st Patriot Football Bowl. So Mesa wins, they are going to be in the championship as they get the bye right into the bowl, and that would force Indy or Carolina to play off against Colorado to get the other seat. So everything's on the line here for Mesa. Not really. Mesa could lose the West, and have to play in. But if they win, they control their destiny. They will win the West and they will have a seat in the championship. If Indy wins, they will clinch the East over Carolina and they'll earn a playoff spot. They will not earn the bye into the bowl. But either team kind of controls some of their fate. Now, Mesa obviously controls their total fate. So Mesa, with the league's top offense, has a chance here in Indy to secure the first bowl seat for them in, I think they've been in 2 bowls in the past, but they've never won a title. This year they won the World Championship, so it would be kind of fitting for them to also win the Patriot Football Bowl, but there's a good chance that they're going to be world champs and not win the league championship. All right, Mesa is 8-4-1. They are tied with Colorado, except they have the tiebreaker on Colorado, having defeated Colorado twice this year. So Mesa, if they win, they're guaranteed the division, and they would be guaranteed the bowl seat because of that. All right, Indy is 6-4-3, having literally, I won't say average, but yeah, kind of average as Indy though. But here's the thing: they are rated identically to Dayton, but they're 6-4-3. Dayton is 5-9. So you can see somehow has Indy facing weaker competition? I don't know. Indy somehow has pulled off more wins. Dayton has the exact same ratings and only won 5 games. But either way, but those defenses are the best in football. All right, let's find out. Indy gets the ball first. They are looking, oh, by the way, I got to match them up. Mesa has an F defense versus Indy's. So Mesa's an A versus A, so they're going to be a C today. Indy is a D versus F. D versus F is a C. Okay, so this is anybody's game, folks. They're matched up at C's. Okay, 4. It's going to be a field goal right out of the gate. So Mesa drives down and Polk hits a field goal. Polk with a field goal, and they are up, folks. Mesa Machine go to work. 3, they're going to have to punt. And Indy fans on their feet cheering as they got a chance to add to their lead. 4, they sure are. Polk will hit a second field goal. Polk is, I believe, the top place kicker in the league this year, but I got to do all my postseason. Oh, field goal for Mesa. So Mesa drives down and Kudrick hits a field goal. And after 1, it is 3-6. It's a field goal fest here inside the dome of the Hooters Dome. Indy, 5 is a touchdown pass. So it's going to be a TD pass for McAllister. TD pass to 2. It's going to be a TD pass to Dupree out of the backfield. And PAT is good. And look at that. The crowd on their feet is Mesa now trying to earn. This is a huge game for Mesa. 3 is going to be a punt. Indy might pull it off here and force win their division and be in the playoff here. Let's see, 1, it's going to be an event. 5. 5 is going to be offense, has to punt. It's a big return. So Indy has to punt, and Mesa gets a long return from the best kicker in our history, kick returner, Return Wilkie with a long punt return. That gives them a B. So Mesa, going into the half, gets to use the B chart, and 3 is still a punt. They cannot muster anything as that -3 A defense quashes the Mesa Machine offense. Indy gets a touchdown, makes it 13-3 at halftime. Mesa's cannot overcome this brilliant Indy's defense. Mesa gets the ball coming out of the tunnel. Mesa 4 on C is going to be a field goal, so Kudrick's going to try to keep them in it with some field goals. Indy would like to put them away. 1, it's going to be an event. 6, DL and LB make a big stop on 4th down, turnover on downs, TOD, and it's a big stop for DL3. Big stop for Mesa's big stop for 3 is going to be Clark, their best defensive lineman. And linebacker, let's roll this, linebacker Norris with a big hit, turnover on downs. Mesa goes to work, trying to set it up. In event 6, same thing, turnover on downs. They drive down the field, and number 12 on their defensive line, that's going to be Bevis, or Beavis. Oh, Bevins, excuse me, that's an N, Bevins. And their linebacker is Stone. So Bevins and Stone also make a big 3rd down stop. Indy with the lead by 7, final drive of the 3rd. and Indy's going to get 4. That's going to be another field goal as Polk is going to help put this game maybe on ice. Kudrick gets a field goal, and Polk gets a field goal. Folks, it's 16-6. Mesa can win with 2 touchdowns. Mesa starts the fourth quarter. They're going to have an event. It's going to be a punt with a long return. So again, Holmberg gets the long return this time. Long PR, right? And they get to use B, so Indy can put this game away, and 6 is a touchdown run for Dupree. So Dupree's caught a touchdown, and he's run for a touchdown, and the game is over. Mesa can only make it interesting. They cannot, well, unless there's a pick 6. 5 is a touchdown pass, so Andrews, who's led the league in touchdown passes this year, is going to throw another one. Andrews, TD pass to 2. That's going to be Parks, PAT. And guess what, folks? Indy can. If Indy rolls an event in a 1, it could be a pick 6. That could be dangerous. It's going to be 4. 4 is a field goal. So Polk, with maybe the 4-minute mark, will kick another field goal to guarantee they have enough. Mesa's going to score 7. Indy's going to score 10. And folks, that is 13. They hold the league's #1 offense to about half of their average. 13 points does that Indy defense, and they're going to score 13, 16, 26. Indy will be 7, 4, and 3, and Mesa will finish 8, 5, and 1. And why is that a big deal? Because now Colorado is in control of their own destiny. If Colorado beats Carolina, the team that ran them out of their home state, sent them across the country to relocate to Colorado, if they can beat technically a rival, Carolina, they will be 9, 4, and 1, and they will win the West, and they will have a seat in the Patriot Football Bowl 31 with a chance to be back-to-back league champs for the 3rd time in their history. Carolina, on the other hand, if they beat Colorado, Mesa will win the division and get the seat at the table. Colorado will have to play off against Indy. Indy has secured their playoff seat, and they've won the East. Carolina would only play spoiler to Colorado. They cannot. Carolina cannot get into the playoffs, but they could ruin Colorado's easy seat at the championship table. So let's finish the final game. This now would become a huge game between Antoine's Carolina Devilfish, who again moved into the Carolinas, ran the Columbia Coolers out of state to run away to Colorado with their tail betwixt their legs. However, Colorado is the defending champs. Carolina 2 years ago won the title, and in their move to Carolina, they won the championship. Colorado here with a chance to be back-to-back champs for the 3rd time in their 31-year history. We will play to find out. Both these teams, I should say, Carolina has a good offense. They're a B versus the Coolers A defense. So B versus A is D. Carolina will have to do it without not a lot of offensive help. We have Colorado with an A offense versus a D. So A versus D is A, and Colorado should win this probably 27-14, 27-10. But let's play and find out. Here we go. Jack Shaw of the Carolina Coolers got his team ready. They run a 34 pass heavy. Kingfisher, who started rough, has had a fantastic second half of the season. However, he will not be among the league leaders this year for a reward. Swanson's had a good season in his 11th year. It's been the defense that's kind of kept them in it, and just enough offense from Kingfisher. Jordan has actually had a kind of a breakout season. He's had 2 or 3 touchdowns in the last 2 games. So Jordan's had a pretty good season. On the flip side, Carolina, coached by Doug Harrington, they run a 34 pass heavy. This team features a young quarterback in Olsen. They've got Swink, one of the league's best backs from Omaha when they folded. And they have a really solid group of receivers, Simmons, Martin, and Rowland. Their defense is anchored by Taggart. They have 4 solid linebackers in Beathard, O'Leary, Bottas, and Kleinhaus. And their DBs are okay, right? So here we go. Colorado Coolers using the A chart, and they're going to get a field goal on their first drive. So Yoy, who was picked up from Omaha, is going to get a field goal and give the fans here in Colorado the start. And 2 from D chart is going to be an event. 3, it's going to be a field goal blocked. So Carolina drives down. Taylor sets up for the field goal. And Big Tapper is going to block that field goal. Field goal blocked by Tapper, who is their number one defensive player, second, I should say, excuse me, their second best defensive player to their future Hall of Famer, Oscar, strong safety. Coolers go to work. They're going to score another field goal. So Yoy takes that block. They drive into range, and he kicks another chip shot, and that gives them 6. And CDF can take the lead with a touchdown. 4 is a punt. And the first half's going to come. First quarter's going to come to an end. Carolina 0, thanks to a blocked kick. Colorado 6, thanks to 2 Yoy field goals. All right, Yoy starting the second quarter. 3 is going to be an event. 4, it's going to be a strip sack fumble. Kingfisher, sack, fumble lost. 9 for them is going to get this. 9 is going to be recovered by, or 9 would be Reynolds, the defensive line, and the linebacker, let's use this. Linebacker 4 would be Kleinhaus. Strap, sit, fumble. They don't get any other bonus. That's just a huge play. And if they can score a touchdown, folks, they will take up the lead. They need a 5. Nope, they're going to punt. So they cannot muster anything against this Colorado defense. Colorado goes to work. 3 is going to be an event. 5, offense punt. So they punt, and it's going to be a long return by Keith. Long PR gives them a B. So they're going to get to use B right before the half, and that's going to turn into a punt. Dang, this defense has held Carolina in check, shutting them out. Kingfisher stripped. It is 6-0. I said it would be like 24-10, but Colorado on the A charts is getting, Carolina is giving them a feisty fight. Carolina coming out of the tunnel after the halftime speech by Doug Harrington, telling them, let's go spoil Colorado's easy seat for a back-to-back champ. And 2, they're going to come out and get an event. 3 is field goal blocked again. This one by 12. It's going to be blocked by McDaniels. So Taylor has a second field goal blocked. And it's going to be by Taylor. By 12. That is McDaniels. Comes off the corner and blocks that kick. Colorado uses the A column. They're already in the A column, so it's easy bid for them. But no, they're going to end up having to punt. Man, the Carolina Devilfish defense is playing their hearts out. 4 on D charts is a punt for Carolina. They cannot muster. Colorado needs something else to make sure Carolina can't win this in a surprise touchdown. Colorado's finally going to score a touchdown. It's a run, and that run is going to be Jordan. So Jordan continues to be their chief player here with a TD run, PAT, and that is going to end up giving Colorado a 13-0 lead going into the 4th. They can still lose if Carolina can score 2 touchdowns. Carolina is going to get a field goal. So finally, Carolina's Taylor, they get into field goal range again. This time he makes it. Colorado goes to work. They like to put this game on ice, and they do. It's going to be a touchdown pass. Kingfisher said, I'm not going out of without another TD pass this year. And he gets it. 2-2. That's going to be Swanson, his aging vet, and that's going to put the game on ice. Carolina can just save face and make it look good. 5, and they're going to do that. They're going to get a touchdown pass. So Olsen, who had a really strong midseason, I think he had 9 touchdowns in 3 games. It was pretty cool. Olsen with a TD pass, but he's also struggled. TD pass to 4. That's going to be Simmons. And that makes it interesting. And Colorado's final drive of the game is an event. And that event is DL and LB make a big stop on 4th down. So it's a TOD, so they basically go for it to kill clock. But the DL is going to get the ball back. That would be, let's roll. That'll be James. And the linebacker, Bottas, with big stop on 4th down. Turnover on downs, they thought to go for it to kill clock. And Carolina would get the ball back and probably throw a Hail Mary or something, and nothing comes of it. 4th quarter sees CDF score 10 points. Good for them. They tried their damnedest. But Kingfisher put it on ice with a touchdown in the 4th. And folks, I said it would be 24-10. It turns out it is 20-10. I was off by 4 points. Carolina is 6-2 on the season, a perfectly average team. Their ratings were Carolina's ratings were B and D. That makes them kind of a C, which would make them about an average team. And Colorado is going, thanks to Indy beating Mesa, Colorado is going to win the West. And Colorado is guaranteed a shot. They're automatically in the bowl. So my new playoffs, 2 division winners go make it to the playoff, and a wild card plays the worst of those two. The best team in the league is automatically in the bowl. So Colorado, if they're in the bowl, if they win this bowl, they will be back-to-back Patriot Football League champions for the 3rd time in their history, back-to-back champs. So that's pretty cool if they can pull it off. So when I come back sometime later this week, it will be playoff time. I'll be playing the playoff, and then I'll be playing the 31st Patriot Football League Bowl. Bye-bye.